Hello everyone and welcome to the Kotlin tutorial series. We're going to be going in depth a little bit more with inheritance in classes. So let's jump right in. Inheritance allows us to use code that has already been written in a class and inherit that code into the class that we are currently making. So let's take a look at an example. We have a person, right? So a person has a first name and a last name, all right? And this is our base person, okay? So we also have a function here that allows us to build the first and last name. So let's create another class, and we'll call it we'll call it friend. All right. So friend has a property for years of friendship, and that is an integer. All right. Now, friend also has a first and last name, but we don't need to make a first and last name. We can just essentially inherit person, and we already have a function here that builds the first and last name for us. So, in order to inherit from person, we need to make it open. And next, we can, this is how we inherit from it. We have the colon and person, the name of the class, essentially. And then we have to, of course, give it the properties. So we can say, in this case, first name of friend, we can say Michael, and then last name can be Scott. All right. So now we have a person with the first and last name, and we have our friend who is a person with the first and last name and years of friendship. So now in this class, we can say build. We can have a function that says build friend. It's a really weird name. I apologize, but whatever. Okay, so now we can essentially say, actually, you know what? Let's take a look at what we have already before we go any deeper. Let's go back to main and let's create a person object. Oh, all right. So we'll create a variable. We'll call it person, and it is equal to friend. So now we need to enter years of friendship, which has been 10. Okay, so now we can print person first name. We can do the same thing here for last name and years of friendship. Okay, so let's go ahead and run that. We don't have really anything in the class as of right now, but see, this is how we can actually inherit from another class. All right, so in this case, we can write something like, we can write a function, call it friend, we'll call it friend builder again, just because I'm kind of running a blank here. And we can return a string. So let's see. We will do, actually, if years of friendship is greater than 5, return, we will return something, a message that says you are an awesome, wow, okay, awesome friend. And then we can say else, we can say, or we return you are a new friend. All right. And actually, since this is very simple, what we can do, cool thing about Kotlin syntax is we can actually just put the return before the if. So I'm going to push on back, I'm going to push option return. And we're going to lift return out of the if statement. And there you go. So we can clean it up a little bit. The syntax looks great. And we can also add this in here. We'll go ahead and print line and add our person and friend builder. Okay, now let's let's actually, instead of doing just the first and last name, let's do build name because that isn't being used. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and run this. All right, Michael Scott, 10 years, and you are an awesome friend. Cool. So that is how you inherit from another class. Again, this is very important, especially when we start making more objects and when we start designing an actual application. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. We're going to talk about the companion object, which is a very important concept in Kotlin, and I look forward to seeing you guys in that one. Thanks again.